In the small town of Bayeux stands a cathedral that has witnessed nearly 1,000 years of faith, war, and remembrance. And some of its most moving stories are hidden below ground.
Today, we're visiting Notre-Dame de Bayeux Cathedral, one of Normandy's most important religious landmarks. The cathedral has been a spiritual and cultural landmark here since the 11th century, with construction beginning shortly after the Norman conquest of England. What makes Bayeux Cathedral especially interesting is that it reflects centuries of change. You'll see Romanesque or Norman elements from its earliest phase, alongside later Gothic additions that bring height, light, and elegance to the structure. The central tower rises above the town of Bayeux, and it's a reminder that for centuries, this cathedral has been a visual anchor for the entire community.
As we step inside, the Norman character of the nave immediately stands out. The massive columns, rounded arches, and solid proportions give the space a grounded, almost fortress-like feeling. This is Romanesque architecture at its core, solid, grounded, and imposing. As we look upward, we see how later Gothic elements altered the interior. The vaulting becomes higher and the windows larger. This space is truly powerful and uplifting. It's this combination of styles that makes Bayeux Cathedral so compelling. You're not just looking at one moment in history. You're seeing centuries layered together and a cathedral that adapted to new ideas, new needs, and evolving artistic influences. Walking through the transept, the cathedral opens up even more, emphasizing the cross-shaped layout typical of medieval churches. Even without knowing the technical details, you can feel how the architecture guides movement, directs attention, and creates a sense of reverence.
One of the most striking interior features is the cathedral's organ. High above the nave, the cathedral's great organ dominates the west end. Its massive pipes are not just visually impressive, they're a reminder of how central music has been to worship here for centuries. Music has played a central role in worship here for centuries, and the scale of the instrument reflects that importance. The pipe organ anchors the space with a sense of ceremony and tradition. It's part of the impressive craftsmanship throughout the cathedral. From carved stone to decorative details, there's a sense that every element was designed with intention.
Moving through the cathedral, we explored several side chapels, each with its own identity and purpose. Chapels dedicated to St. Peter, the Holy Trinity, and Our Lady of Good News feel quieter and more personal, designed for individual prayer rather than large gatherings. They are rich with artwork, altars, and symbolism. The Chapelle Saint-Martin des Vicaires is another example with artwork and devotional elements that invite closer inspection. It is small in scale, but rich in devotional meaning. One particularly meaningful stop was the memorial to Edith Stein, whose life story connects philosophy, faith, and the tragedies of the 20th century. These chapels remind us that cathedrals are not only monumental structures, they are also shaped by individual lives, personal devotion, and quiet moments of reflection.
One display we found especially fascinating maps the history of Christianity alongside major world events, placing faith within the broader sweep of human history. It's a powerful reminder that faith doesn't exist in isolation. It develops alongside political, social, and cultural change.
Beneath the cathedral, we descended into the crypt, an area that connects the physical structure of the building with the deeper layers of its history. The staircase to the crypt is quite steep, and its steps are neither smooth nor of equal size. This lower level feels very different, more enclosed, quieter, and more reflective. Frescoes, murals, and artworks centuries old adorn the walls and columns. For several centuries, the crypt remained walled up, falling into oblivion. In 1412, it was rediscovered during work to hollow out a grave for Bishop Jean de Boissy. The crypt is all that remains of the original cathedral's architecture, dating back to its July 14th, 1077 consecration.
Among the sacred objects housed in the cathedral is the reliquary of Catherine of St. Augustine, connecting Bayeux to the wider global story of Christianity. The cathedral also serves as a place of remembrance. A dedicated memorial honors 138 priests, seminarians, and religious figures from the Diocese of Bayeux-Lisieux who lost their lives during World War II. Additional plaques commemorate the wider cost of war, including another honoring the 56th Infantry Brigade of the British Liberation Army. Bayeux itself was largely spared destruction during the Second World War, but these plaques remind us that the human cost of war was still deeply felt here.
Visiting Bayeux Cathedral isn't just about admiring architecture, it's about encountering nearly 1,000 years of faith, memory, and resilience. Whether you come for history, sacred art, or quiet reflection, this cathedral rewards those who slow down and take their time. If you are planning to visit Bayeux, we highly recommend making this cathedral a priority and giving yourself the space to truly experience it.